Sequence initiated.
T-minus 15 seconds and counting. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Turbopump at light speed.
Liftoff. Liftoff of a Soyuz TMA-05M carrying Sonny Williams, Yuri Malenchenko, and Aki Hoshide on a 2-day journey to the International Space Station.
All of their launcher parameters are nominal. Seconds. First stage thrusters are operating nominally. Copy all, launch control, and we are fine. 30 seconds into the flight. Launcher parameters are nominal. Copy, launch control. 40 seconds into the flight. Everything's stable. Copy all. Copy, everything's in order on board. Seconds into the flight, everything's nominal. Copy. For stages 1 and 2 are operating nominally. Copy. 230 seconds into the flight, vehicle is stable. Copy. Everything's nominal on board.
Of the Zarya module of the International Space Station on the STS-132 mission of Atlantis. You can see the Core's automated rendezvous system, the crosshairs in this engineering view, just about perfectly aligned with the docking target on the Rassvet module.
Rate is normal, standing by for contact. Capture confirmed.
Docking confirmed. Docking confirmed at 11:51 p.m. Central Time, 12:51 a.m. Eastern Time over northeast Kazakhstan. So on the 37th anniversary of that famous handshake in space by Tom Stafford and Alexei Leonov during the Apollo-Soyuz mission, another union of crews takes place to continue that legacy.
Okay, how do you read me? Okay, let me know when to switch to another cabin. Yeah, copy.
And there is the hatch opening.
Okay, yes, that was the...
Aki Hoshide returning to the International Space Station, first to float in and be greeted by the residents of the complex. Sonny Williams next.
Something is pausing. Okay. I did not copy you.
Williams spent almost 200 days on board the International Space Station in 2006 and 2007, and there is the veteran Russian cosmonaut Yuri Malenchenko floating into the Rassvet module, being greeted by Revan, Akaba, and Padalka, all 6 crew members now together on board the International Space Station. The official opening of the hatches coming at 11:23 a.m. Moscow time, 2:23 a.m. Central Time On Tuesday morning, July 17th, on the 37th anniversary of the docking of Apollo and Soyuz in that historic mission more than 3 decades ago.
Hello, I'm Suni Williams. I'm up here on the International Space Station. So this is Node 2. This is a really cool module. Of course, most of these modules you'll see they have 4 sides and they're put together. That way we could sort of work on a flat plane, either a wall, a floor, another wall, or the ceiling. But you know, again, all you have to do is turn yourself and your reference changes. The reason I'm bringing that up is because this is where 4 out of 6 of us sleep. And so people always ask about sleeping in space. Do you lie down? Are you in a bed? Not really, because it doesn't matter. You don't really have the sensation of lying down. You just sit in your sleeping bag. So here's one sleep station right here. I'm going in right now. You can follow me if you want. So I'm inside. It's sort of like a little phone booth, but it's pretty comfy. I've got a sleeping bag right here that we sleep in, so we don't have sort of like a little bit of a cover. We don't fly all over the place. But you know, you can sleep in any orientation. I have it sleeping, feeling like I'm standing up right now, but like you saw, I'm on the floor. But it doesn't matter if I turn over and I sleep upside down. I can't have it, I don't have any sensation in my head that tells me that I'm upside down, so it really doesn't matter. The sleep station is also like a little office. We've got a computer in here. As you can see, we've got a couple little toys. I've got some books. I've got some clothes and other things that make it sort of like home. I'm coming out. And just for reference, that's one sleep station. This one's another. Right here. There's one on the ceiling, if you want to call it. Right here. And then there's a 4th on the other wall over here. So all of us sleep in a little bit of a circle. All right, come on back. There's more to show you. Here we are in the U.S. laboratory. Again, this is a laboratory with science experience on all of the walls here, all sorts of stuff that we do. And one of the things we also do is we exercise. We have some exercise equipment on board the space station. We need to do that because we lose bone density and muscle mass while we're up here, and that's a result of not having to fight against gravity. So how we keep ourselves in shape are with a bike, a treadmill, and a weightlifting machine. This is the bike. You notice the clip pedals. So all you need to do is actually clip your feet in, and then you can start pedaling. Here's a pretty cool place. This is sort of like in your house where everybody meets in the morning. After you wash your face, brush your teeth, you want to find something for breakfast. And this is our kitchen. You might notice there's all sorts of foods here. It's like opening the refrigerator. You got all your different stuff that you want to have: drinks, meats, eggs, vegetables, cereals, bread, snacks. And that's a good place. That's where you find all the candy. Side dishes, and then some little power bars just in case. So we have all this type of food. Some of it is dehydrated, and so we have to hydrate it, fill it up with water. Some of it is already made, and then all we have to do is heat it up. So something like this, I'm pulling out barbecued beef brisket. Pretty yummy. Not only is this food made in the US, but we also have food here from Japan. We've got Russian food. As you can see, all these red containers are filled with food that's from Russia. And then we get some of our specialty stuff, some things that we like, some of our favorite stuff that your family can send up. In fact, I like fluffernutters, and so I got sent up some fluff so I could make my fluffernutter with peanut butter. So you have a lot of food up here, no problems. It's like a glass-bottom boat. This is the cupola. It sticks down below the space station. It's one of those places you find yourself hanging out in all the time because all you want to do is look back at our planet. I think some questions I had were about what do you do in your free time? And you can't help but want to just come to the cupola and look outside as much as you can. And a lot of folks, I play this game with myself about where we're flying over the Earth. Try to come in here and just guess. After being here for a little while, you can sort of figure it out. You can tell different cloud types over different continents. You can tell different soil types over different continents. So let's see. And then, of course, there's a lot of ocean. So usually we're over the ocean at first glance. I will tell you in just a moment where we are. There we go. Oh, right now we are right over Africa. It's a little bit cloudy, as you can tell, but we're right over the continent of Africa. Hey, what's that? I think that's a Soyuz spacecraft. That's the spacecraft that's taken us home to planet Earth today. Oh my gosh, we might have to go take a look at that. That's pretty cool. It's a little bit smaller than the rest of the spacecraft, the space station, so you'll see if we go there, it'll be a little bit more crammed. But we're going, you can look all the way back to the back of the spacecraft, which is where the Russian segment is, and then you could look all the way forward to the front of the spacecraft, where the Japanese laboratory, the European laboratory, and the American laboratory. Hey, one thing I didn't show you, or I talked about but I didn't show you, was the exercise, another piece of exercise device. This is what we call the ARED, and with this you can lift weights based on vacuum in these cylinders, just like you do at home at a gym. For example, if I wanted to do a squat, I could do it like this. Oops. I should need some weight on this thing. I'm not lifting with anything, so it's too easy. One of the cool things you could do things that you can't do at home. For example, single leg squats with just one leg, because the other leg, you won't fall over. So all sorts of stuff. You can also do bench press. We have a bench that we could add on here, so you can work on your beach muscles. I know that there's some questions about how to use the bathroom and how do you actually live in space like normal, like at home. I mentioned real quickly about getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth and washing your face. Well, how do you do that? Well, here is the bathroom, essentially. You get up in the morning and we have a little kit, and it has all the essential things that you need, like your toothbrush and toothpaste and brush. See how much better the brush makes my hair look? I'm just joking. It still stands up straight. It doesn't matter where you are. It's always going to stand up straight while you're up in space. A lot of people ask about toothbrush and toothpaste. So, luckily enough, toothpaste, you can do it upside right this way, is sticky, and so it sticks to your toothbrush. No problem. Another cool thing is that water sticks to your toothbrush too. If you can see it, I'll have some water come out. The water is pretty neat up in space. It'll stick to your toothbrush, and it will make a big bubble. And that's just by surface tension. And then you can drink it. So a lot of people ask about what do you do with the toothpaste after you brush your teeth. Two options. Swallow it, and it's sort of like mouthwash, but it tastes a little gross. Or you can just spit it out in a paper towel, and then you don't have to worry about it. Swallowing thing I wouldn't recommend at home. I'm only up here for 4 months, so it's not that bad. One of the most pressing questions about living in space, of course, is the bathroom. So let's take a look at that little piece of work. Come on in. Here we are at the throne. This is awesome. You might see the little, you might have noticed the little moon on the outside. This is our orbital outhouse right here. And of course, it serves for two functions. Number 2, right here. I'll show you. But you see it's pretty small, so you have to have pretty good aim, and you be ready to make sure things get let go the right direction. And it smells a little bit, so I'm closing it up. And that's, of course, for number 2. And this guy right here is for number 1. So they're sort of two slightly separate functions, but you can do essentially both by hanging on right here and doing number 1 and number 2. I might add it's color coded, so you really don't get it mixed up, which is nice. This is yellows for number 1. And also there's a selection of paper. People always ask about toilet paper. What do you do with toilet paper? What kind of toilet paper do you have? We have gloves, just because sometimes it does get messy. We have some Russian wipes, which are a little bit coarse if you like the coarse type of toilet paper. We have some nice tissues, which are nice and soft if you like soft toilet paper. We have Huggies, just for any cleanup. You know, we were all babies once, and this sort of helps. And then if things get really out of control, we have disinfectant wipes, just to make sure we clean up here. Because, you know, just like the water I showed you, the number 1 stuff can sort of go all over the place if you don't aim correctly. And did I mention both of these have a little bit of suction, so they should keep things going in the right direction. But like I said, sometimes things get a little out of control if you are out of control yourself flying around. So we have lots of protective stuff. And of course, you do have your privacy. There's a little door.
From the Rassvet module to the Soyuz spacecraft, now saying farewell. Aki Hoshide, who has spent 4 months on board. There is Suni Williams. Yuri Malenchenko will come into the field of view momentarily. Hugs and handshakes as Malenchenko says goodbye to his Russian colleagues. A final wave from the crew as they are now all inside the Soyuz spacecraft, ready to close hatches and begin all of the preparations for undocking that is scheduled 3 hours, 10 minutes from now at 4:26 p.m. Central Time. For the undocking command that will be issued by flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov, that will initiate the opening of hooks that have held the two spacecraft together, the Soyuz with the International Space Station's Rassvet module. Springs on both sides of the docking interface then will push off against one another at 4:26 p.m. Central Time to induce physical separation that will be followed 3 minutes later by a separation burn of about 15 seconds in duration to begin an opening rate for the Soyuz that ultimately will carry it to a distance of 12 kilometers away from the International Space Station for the deorbit burn that will begin the journey home for Williams, Malenchenko, and Hoshide.